to see you, my friend.
Glad to be here. Glad to share a stage with you.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I couldn't be more excited to talk with you. It's been a minute, but
Well, before we get started, shout out to Variety. What a great event. Unbelievable spot. So thanks for having this. It's fantastic. And we're here to talk about immersive media, future of sports, and everything that's going on there. But, and part of that is interactivity, right? And so we're going to make this more interactive. And I want to engage the crowd a little bit. So don't want to put everybody on the spot, but, here we go. All right. So recent mega sports event was Wimbledon, right? Who followed Wimbledon on TV, on social, on web? Who knows what went on there? Everybody kind of followed it, right? Big mega event across the pond, big deal, right? Who actually went and sat courtside? That's the question. I actually thought this room there might be one or two,
right
given
there
this
we go.
room.
We got a guy right there.
We got one in the back,
There we
one
go.
in the back, and I actually tend to know that guy in the
Yeah.
back. It's like a plant, right? One of everybody here, right? But who would have wanted to go? Who wants to go sit center court and watch the Wimbledon finals?
Yeah.
Right? You kidding me? Unbelievable
Let's do it
experience,
next
right?
year.
And I think that's really the future of immersive, right? The future of sport in general is the opportunity to go to these world's biggest events and be there in the moment. That's the beauty of live sports. It's about that fan experience, right? As shown by the crowd here, everyone wants to go. And I think the task of our industry is going to be able to make that a real opportunity, make that actually happen. Not just to one event a year, but every major sporting event around the world.
I love how you just jumped into it, brought the crowd into it. Right away. But I think it's reflective of who you are as an individual. We obviously heard from Jimmy, an executive, and Chloe shared some insightful insights on what's happening in the world of sports media and entertainment right now and what's going on in this sector. And you're an expert in this sector because of your unique background as well. You were a former NFL player. You played for a number of years. You were a founder of a company that got acquired by Fox Sports. You became an executive there for a number of years, and now you're the CEO of Cosm. Jeb, maybe help us understand some of the changes that you've seen in the past and to where we are today in the world of sports.
Definitely. By the way, you are the Super Bowl champion. Sorry, so
it's okay you didn't win one. You still play.
Yeah, I'm still very envious, no doubt. But it's fortunate. I've had a lot of great seats in the world of sports, right? I've been able to play in the biggest events. I've been an executive at major media. I've been in the tech scene for a long time. And so I think that perspective has allowed me to see a lot of different angles here, right, as it relates to really what we're doing here today. And one thing that's hard to even imagine is the first down and 10 line, right? That's a 25-year-old technology, first came out in the mid-'90s, and it is still one of the biggest innovations in sports today. It literally changed the game. And the reason it changed the game, it made the live event better, right? And no matter what we do in sports and entertainment, it's all about that live event. That is the core product of our industry, right? Our job as executives, leaders, whatever seat we might have, is to help make that live event better, to improve the fan experience, give it more context, help our talent be better storytellers, do whatever we can to make that live window that much more special, right? And make that experience as good it can possibly be, right? And so I think it's those different seats that I've had in the industry kind of give me a unique context of what the future could be, right? Not about what it is or what it's going to be, but what it actually can be and the feasibility of technology in the space. And there's no better time, frankly, right, to be in our industry than in now.
Well, I would agree. And given the seat that I have the opportunity to sit in and being the founder and managing director of Next Play Capital, we look at a number of different technology companies across the industry and are constantly finding ways to invest in things that are disruptive. And so one of the things I want to put you on the spot, because we are at a media event, I want to
disruptive, that's quite the buzzword.
I know, it's on the nose. But nonetheless, I still want to find ways to think about areas where you think things are going to be disruptive moving forward. So I'm going to put you on the hot seat, and I want you to go on the record and give us 3 predictions of what's going to happen in the world of sports media and entertainment over the next few years. What are some of the biggest trends we should be paying attention to?
Well, it's interesting because it's almost like, Jimmy and Chloe and Richard, even before them, are all kind of talking about some major trends. But it's personalization and access are the first 2, right? We talk about that a lot. But it's not just about, seeing the stats or the all access in the locker room. We're going to be able to see how Matt Stafford reads the field in real time. Like, that is going to happen, right? You're going to be able to see what the linebacker thinks, all right? Or what Steph sees when he's shooting a free throw or a 3, right? That's the type of access that you're going to get. And then it's about personalization, where fans get to choose what they want to watch, when they want to watch. Jimmy talked about the ManningCast, right? But you also know the megacast was around years before that as well, with the Coach's Corner and things like that. And so really thinking about that evolution, like technology has caught up to where all that production is doable and feasible now. And it's incredibly important to kind of see where the future of sport is going and leveraging the tech for those two core things, right, which is about the fan experience in general. Immersive media plays a role in that interactivity. But the next big trend, and what I love is that it's a consistent drumbeat, is about women in sports. But the thing is women have been playing sports forever. It's not like, oh, they're finally playing sports, but you're seeing the level of professionalism, production, and exposure that is really special. And like anecdotally, I have a 13-year-old and 11-year-old daughter, Harper and Emmy.
Yeah.
Right?
Phenomenal athletes.
Again, they aspire to be professional athletes. But now, something that was unique, I got to sit on the couch with them in California and watch an ESPN broadcast of Collegiate Women's National Lacrosse Championship, right? Go Tar Heels. I'm a big Tar Heel if anyone wants to chat, Tar Heels. But it wasn't just some random camera that was set up in some, low-time, low-budget production. They had a sky cam, right? It was highly produced, and it was an amazing experience. And now my daughters and I have that experience. And so now when they say, Dad, I'm going to go play sports where you played, go Heels, that's real, right? And they're like, Dad, I want to play professional sports. And now those opportunities are there in place, and that's the cool thing I see about the future for women in sports is it's prime time, it's accessible, and it's ubiquitous.
Absolutely. It's been elevated. It's visible. Everybody has the opportunity to enjoy the competition and the passion that's being played on the sporting fields across the country. And we love that as well. One of the things that you touched on, you two dropped the buzzword. You said immersive. And so yeah. I would love for you to define what immersive means to you, and then maybe even go a step further. Talk about what you guys are doing at Cosm to create a more immersive experience and why that's so transformational.
Well, yeah, definitely. Immersive is a buzzword these days, and when you see it on a pamphlet, it's almost like a collective eye roll. It's like, oh, talking about immersive media again, right? And the thing is, it's just, immersive is so many different things, right? But there's this transportive nature of what immersive media can do that lean into this notion of access, experience, and personalization. And then as you think about like bringing this to life, it's leaning into the reality technology sector, right? AR, VR, XR, MR, whatever the R may be.
Can you drop those all again really quick?
AR, VR, XR, MR.
Impressive.
ER, maybe SR. You never know. But it's leaning into that tech stack, but then bringing it to life in an accessible, approachable way. And that's really what we're doing at Cosm. And so we actually call what we do shared reality, right? So we started with thinking about that fan experience, that watch party. Has everyone seen those big World Cup watch parties, right, where people are throwing their beers when they score? Everyone wants to go to those. You saw the Deer District when the Bucks won the finals. You see stuff at the Chase Center, Jurassic Park when the Raptors were playing. Right, this watch party phenomenon, it's about that electricity of the crowd. It's kind of the reason we all showed up here as a group, right? This personal connection to come see what we're talking about. This is way better in person at this beautiful hotel than, watching on, the web. Right, so it's that notion of human connectivity and that crowd electricity. It's why you want to go courtside to the Wimbledon finals, regardless of who's playing. It's that access and experience. Combine that electricity and feeling with the power of immersive media and this transportive nature, and that's where you get what we're doing at Cosm. And it's not about wearing headsets or hardware or anything like that. It's about at scale, best seat in the house, every major event in the world, live, right? Real time. Right? And as much as you want it. And that's the beauty of what we're building.
Well, maybe take it a step even further, because that's what you guys are obviously doing and how you define immersive, and thank you for sharing that. But what does that actually mean for the industry leaders? What does that mean for the leagues and the broadcasters and partners across the country?
Well, leaning back into what Jimmy was talking about when he talked about the league and Manningcast, and he said regardless of what's in the contract, it's the right thing to do. The only way you win in sports entertainment is really approaching it as a team and not being cannibalistic to the existing industry standards, right? How do you create a bigger pie, right? A bigger opportunity to share this notion of fandom and this live sports window. And that has to be the approach, right? So working with major partners out there on the technology front, right? Regardless of who it is. Working with people, on the broadcast side, you have to do that. Working with people on the league side. And you need to be able to put that together as a collective to unlock what we think is the future of live sports consumption, right? You can get the best of what you get at home and the best of what you get at the venue, right? In an approachable, economic way. And I lean into that opportunity a lot. It's very hard, right? It's hard on the partnership and deal-making side. It's hard on the technology side. And that's why we've been building this. And we've been building this for, 2.5 years. And it's kind of what I try to base my career on is bringing this to life. And it's really about that thoughtful, business-minded approach and making sure your partners are winning, right? Like, partners have to win if you're going to win.
I want you to touch on, because your Cosm team, I got a chance to meet some of the team over there. That's
thanks for the shade table. Well, that's
clearly
huge,
I got the wrong sweater on. I did not get the
clearly that was what a benefit.
Nonetheless, you guys have alluded to some partnerships that you're working on. Can you talk about some of the partnerships maybe with the leagues or broadcasters that you guys are working on?
There's some partners in this room, and we don't speak about them publicly. We can talk about them offline if you'd like. We're going to be making some announcements soon.
I'm a buddy.
You're a buddy. We can take it offline if you really want. But we have some fantastic partnerships lined up. I can say Cosm's coming to LA. Our first really consumer-facing venue will be coming to LA. We're going to have a rather large announcement coming, in the next 30 to 60 days. Excited about doing that. Really being at the epicenter of sports and entertainment on a global scale. We'll be bringing our best-of-breed technology here, so all you guys are welcome to the grand opening when that happens. But that's the most exciting thing about what we're doing. And then as we roll out and start showcasing the partners on the broadcast side, on the league side, some of the work we've done, who would have known? Our team was in Beijing filming Chloe, right? We have Chloe in live 8K, right? Not only streaming on phones, but in domes.
You guys are in 8K now?
Yeah, man. Like the team's doing live, low latency, point-to-point 8K. The first in the world actually was done by our team in Beijing. So it's you can read through the lines on the partners and everything that involved in there, right? But it was a fantastic experience that our team, frankly, is second to none, best of breed from around the ecosystem, right? We got people from music, from cinema, from sport, from science, all these great minds contributing to our biggest vision, and really lucky to be in the seat, to be honest.
I've had the chance to be an early investor in companies like Peloton, Tonal, Flexport, Rubrik.
By the way, you didn't ask me to join.
I'm sorry, you missed that opportunity.
Yeah, appreciate that.
We got to talk more.
No ring, no access.
But you did invite me to your office and your headquarters in Salt Lake, and when I had a chance to go there and see what you guys are doing, it was a jaw-dropping experience.
Well, when I tried to tell you, you looked at me like I was a crazy person.
I did. I didn't believe it, because I think that's pretty much most critics. They would say that's somewhat of a science fiction project that's just in the lab. The cost of actually doing this and bringing this to fruition is very expensive. The reality of this happening, it isn't now. This is down the road and going to be, in the far-off distance. Talk a little bit about why they're wrong. Why are the critics wrong? And again, how do you actually bring that to life? How do you give people the ability to understand what I got to see? Because you can't take everybody to Salt Lake City.
Yeah, well, I tell you, there's nothing harder than a 100-story elevator pitch, right? Especially when you need to get to floor 75 for anything to make sense. Right? It's like, trust me, experience economy meets immersive industry, and it's going to blow your mind. Right now, bear with me. This is how we're going to do it. I promise you, we're going to do it. We're going to do it. Right. So
they're recording this.
I know that exactly. Right. It's trust me. I hope no one comes up to me afterward and says, "Give me your elevator pitch." I'll be like, "Oh God, hey, the building's not tall enough." Right. But that's the beauty of what we're building. Like, we have an opportunity to be category defining and leveraging all these things: experience economy, immersive industry, reality technologies, live sports. Right, all these things roll up, and we've been building these capabilities and really leveraging that in the B2B space. And the reason it's not a science project, right, is because we've seen adoption and validation from our biggest partners, and we built the first prototype, right? Our office in Salt Lake City, we call it the Experience Center, the world's most incredible LED dome, 8K, 50 feet tall, 20 meters wide. By the way, everybody should come up and see it.
Are you flying us all up?
No, but I'll meet you at the airport.
Okay.
For sure. And this is not just an idea. It's real. It's tangible. We're testing. We're doing. Literally, sub 2-second latency live from Beijing is something that is going to set a new standard in production, distribution, and that fan experience. And frankly, I think our seat right now is really an incredible experience, and really excited about our future.